Joseph Frazier was a joy to watch on the basketball court with his endless energy, hustle, and smile. Frazier played for John Muir High School in Pasadena and Cal State Northridge in the early 2000s. Then was an assistant coach at Calabasas High School. But a hit-and-run accident in 2011 left him in a coma for 12 years before he passed on March the 8th at the age of 40, leaving his mother and a basketball community saddened. Here's our Painter Lopez now, who learns more about how he is remembered and remembered fondly.
Hometown Hero, sponsored by Rotolo Chevrolet.
When Joseph was 28, he was involved in a hit and run while he was on a motorcycle, and somebody ran a red light. And assuming that was just such a difficult time for you, how did you get through that?
I'd have to say I got through it with the help of a lot of his friends. The idea that he had a motorcycle, he did not tell me. So that was like, oh my God, you know, how could you?
Joseph suffered a severe brain injury after that, and obviously his life was changed and your life was changed.
I couldn't substitute anything for good family, good friends, and my faith in God. It took that much energy, so I didn't do it by myself. So I've had support all along the way.
The hit and run driver was never found. How did you sort of reconcile that?
That's a hard one. I didn't. I'm sure if I met the person, I would forgive them, but that's a hard one.
I was crushed. I had in some ways, my best and worst year in the NBA in that same season. I was mentally fatigued. When I got to Cleveland, my mind was in LA. It was on Joe. I got a chance to come behind Joe at John Muir High School, and what he means to me, he's just everything. Without Joe, there'd be no Ryan Hollins. I wouldn't have near the success that I had. He set the culture for our team in high school. He was the first Division I player that I played with, that I was around, that saw it. We were trying to figure out how to make it to college and, you know, kind of better our circumstances. And Joe was the guy that made it through hard work.
He had an infectious thing about him, off the floor, on the floor. He just made you smile all the time. And, you know, that's the thing I remember about him most.
You guys had that relentless full court pressure defense. How important was he to that CSUN defense in the early 2000s?
Yeah, he was very critical. I mean, he's the one guy that could come in a game and just change it. He could change the whole game just with his defense alone.
I just liked watching him play regardless of what he was doing, because he would put his whole heart into it.
Joe came to my camp and said, I'm going to the small gym. What do you mean the small gym? Okay, cool. Well, everybody wants to work on what? Shooting, all the fun stuff, one-on-one. Joe said, give me the defensive slide station. Those kids had the time of their life working with Coach Joe. People glowed to him. He had that energy where you flocked to him.
That energy and running in a room loud, no matter what was going on in the room, he comes in, he's loud, and if we were mad, you couldn't be mad anymore. You just kind of laugh because Joe, and he was good for me. He was good for me. I needed that.
When you think about Joe and that smile, how does that make you feel?
Well, that makes me smile.
He's absolutely incredible, and you know exactly how much he impacted the community.
I remember Joe Frazier playing at Cal State Northridge, and boy, talk about a guy like to get after it. You know, one of the all-time leaders in their program in steals and just energy guy. And he did that as a coach too at Calabasas High School. He's known in the San Fernando Valley and surrounding areas to be this really great player, but again, just someone with energy. Step into a room, make people smile, and have a lot of fun.
And dedicating his life to others.
There's no question. I mean, when you're a coach, that's what that is. You know, I think there's no better flattering title than the word coach. And so I know Joe Frazier really admired that.